Mm.
Okay, hello farmers. We are right here at the demo site for our tomato project here in Choma. I'm going to actually demonstrate on how to tie tomatoes using the twine and the horizontal wire. So firstly, what you are going to do, you cut the twine, I think to about 2 meters long. The twine should be 2 meters long. As you can see, it is quite long, 2 meters long, so that as you tie from just below the V shape here on the tomato, it will be able to reach up to the most top wire here, which should be somewhere around 1.5 to 2 meters in terms of height. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do the tying of the twine onto the tomato plant. This is the twine. Firstly, make sure that you make a loop which is going to hook onto the tomato plant right at the bottom, just below the V shape. You can see this V shape here, just below the V shape, so that it's going to hook well as you do the tying. So you need to make a knot called the slip knot. Slip knot is quite easy when you are doing the untying. Just pull the end, then the twine will unloose. So after tying it just below the V shape here, and you have made the slip knot, then you wind it around the stem of the tomato plant. As you can see, I'm winding it probably about 4 or 5 times or so. 4, 5, or even 6 times. It depends how tall the plant is. You need to wind it nicely. Make sure you are very careful not to damage the flowers, because this is our production at the end of the day. If they are damaged, then we are losing out in terms of yield. So after winding it around the plant, as you have seen, then you pull it slightly, but not too much, because you might end up uprooting it. So you do it gently, then tie it onto the wire nicely. As well, make sure that you make a loop, you make a knot in form of a loop, so that it is easy to untie when the harvesting is done, as you are removing the twine from the dead tomato plants. So this is how it looks like. This is what we have done on these other plants. As you can see, we have done the knots here, which is quite very easy. As you can see, very easy to untie. This is what we call a slip knot. You do a slip knot so that it's easy to untie. Then please make sure as the plants start growing taller and moving away from the twine, at least twice or probably twice in a week, you come around with the boys, with your workers. You make sure that you wrap the tips around the twine. Wrap it around the twine, so the plant will be able to follow the twine nicely up to the top part of up to the most top wire here. So for us here at the demo site here in Choma, we're only using one wire. As you can see, we don't have the mid wire here. This is one methodology which we are using here, but you can also use the one whereby you have two wires. The one at the middle, probably about one meters from the ground or 70 centimeters from the ground. That is the starting wire. Then as the tomatoes passes the first wire, then you need to put the second wire on top, or even right away from the beginning, you just put the wire, so that when time comes to do the tying, it will be quite easy, not you doing two things at a go, tying the wire and then putting or tying the twine onto the wire. So the best is to make sure that both wires, if you are using two wires, you put them right away from the beginning as the plants are growing down there. So always make sure that you start tying your tomatoes probably in week 3 to 4, which is quite advisable before they start falling off. So, and make sure that you don't delay, because by the time they start loading flowers, they start loading fruits, it will be quite too late for you, because by then they will have loaded, they have more weight, and then they'll start falling on the ground and then catching some diseases on the ground there. Remember, the ground has a lot of diseases, so you should make sure that you avoid such occurrences. As the plant are still standing before they fall, make sure that you tie them onto the first wire if you are using 2 wires. Then later on, as they extend through beyond that first wire, then you unhook the twine where you did the first tying, then wrap it or tie it onto the second wire. But for us here, we are only using 1 wire, so it's 1 way from the bottom here where there is a V shape. Then it will be just 1 way, and after tying at the bottom there, we wind it around the plant, then tie it on the wire here. So thank you very much for watching, and make sure you do the right thing. Together we can. Happy farming.